UFC Des Moines, Sanhagen versus Figueiredo. This is the weigh-in recap show. We're going to take a look at these fighters on the scales, lock in the picks, and then we'll wrap it up going over Makai's money-making plays. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share it with a friend, and let's get the video started. Starting off the card, we got Juliana Miller taking on Ivana Petrovic. The pick is still Ivana Petrovic. I think she's a lot more tactical. I think she'll be able to escape or, defend a lot of the takedowns that Juliana Miller might present. Juliana Miller, she does get chaotic at times, and in her last fight, as you can see, she got knocked out by Luana Santos. She was, she got stung up 3 or 4 times in that fight as well. She was, stuck on the cage. That blitz that she has isn't going to be in her favor in this fight. I feel as though Ivana has, much better footwork. And like I said, she'll be able to defend a lot of these takedowns, and she should cruise to a decision. I wouldn't be surprised if she can lock in a submission either, but I got Ivana Petrovic for the win anyways. But here are these ladies on the scales. Back to Getty Images. Juliana looks good. She did have to, you can see right here, she had to, take her clothes off, but she made weight, no issues. 126. Looked pretty good shape too. And here is Ivana. Locked in, made weight. I don't know what's going on with these photographers, man. It's like 1 week we get the shots that we want, the next we don't. MMA Junkie, I don't know what's going on with their page anymore. But yeah, this is what we got. Let's get to the face-offs. If I can find it, here we go. You can see Ivana's slightly bigger, or taller, I would say. It looks like her head is a lot bigger too, so it'll be, pretty tough to crack that. I don't know if you ask me. But pick is still Ivana. She looks, in really good shape. She looks shredded compared to Juliana. Well, her hair's in the way, but you see the definition in the arms. She looks, more strong. Juliana does look a little lanky, so she does like to throw up those arm bars as well. So maybe if they scramble, you can see her throwing up 1 or 2, but I don't think she'll get it locked in. But the pick is still Ivana Petrovic. Next up, we go into the big boys, the heavyweights. Dontel Mays taking on Thomas Peterson. Pick is still Thomas Peterson. I feel as though he'll be too, he doesn't look like it, but I feel as though he'll be too elusive and quick on the feet for Dontel Mays. I feel as though he might land a few takedowns as well. And I think he's going to not necessarily run laps around Dontel Mays, but I'm not necessarily impressed, but from what I've seen, Thomas Peterson is a better fighter than Dontel Mays. I'll just leave it at that. Let's take a look at these big guys on the scale. Neither one of them are physically impressive, as you could tell. Here's Dontel. Actually, I will say Dontel looks a little better. In the past, he's looked, a lot fatter. You can see the belly's, it looks more toned than in the past. I wish I could, I had a past picture of him, but he looks all right. Looks all right. I want to say he was 260. What was he? Oh, 259. Wow, look at that. Should definitely, cut some weight. Where is Thomas Peterson? Here he is. Look at him. Locked in. Definitely looks like your cousin Jimmy, right? But I feel as though he should have a speed advantage in this fight. I'm going to pick him. You can definitely see he's at a, huge height and reach disadvantage. But like I said, Dontel Mays is pretty lazy on the feet. He does not, use his size to his advantage like I would like him to. But he's got, wrestled by a similar built fighter in the past. And I feel as though Thomas Peterson will be able to replicate a lot of that same success. So no pick flip here, rocking with Peter Griffin Peterson. Next up, we got Gaston Bolanos taking on Quang Lee. I like Gaston Bolanos stand up more than Quang Lee. I know Quang Lee will probably mix it up a lot more. I do like Gaston Bolanos' takedown defense. I feel as though he'll be able to defend a lot of the takedowns. Even if he doesn't, I like his get-up game as well. I think it's going to be a really, really scrappy fight. It's going to be really close, but I do see Gaston getting it on the scorecards. They both came in weight. Another good thing for this card, no missed weight. Nobody missed weight, so that was really good. Here is Quang Lee. He looks a little drained, if you ask me. Those eyes are a little, sunken in, a little dark. Middleweight though, he looks okay. And then here's Gaston, ready with the action pose. He looks ripped from what you can see. Compare his muscle definition on his stomach and chest compared to Quang Le. He looks a lot more locked in. Let's get the face off. If we could find it. Might be on the next page. Here's another angle of Gaston. Where is the face off? I'm tripping. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Bad camera angle, but Gaston. Oh, what is he? Georgian? Is he Georgian? Peru. So we got 2 Peru fighters on this card. But yeah, Gaston's the pick. I think it's going to be a scorecard fight for sure. 29-28. There's going to be some testy moments for both of these fellas. I feel as though Quang Le will probably secure him maybe like the second round. But I like Gaston Bolanos, his explosiveness, and he carries a lot of explosiveness into the third round. So I feel as though that'll probably give him an edge in the third round over Quang Le. I think he's going to be ripping a lot of body kicks too, and that could definitely tire out the shots coming from Quang Le. So I'm rocking with Gaston Bolanos for the win. Next up, Jillian Robertson taking on Marina Rodriguez. Marina, definitely, older. As you can see, she's 38. What is she? 1-5 in her last, or excuse me, 1 and what? Damn, I can't count. 1-4 in her last 5. Who has she lost to? Yasmin Lucindo. Close fight. She had, some moments. Jessica Andrade, Jandiroba, and Lemos. So grapplers with some striking ability. Jillian Robertson doesn't have the striking ability of, I would say she's a better striker than Verna, but Amanda Lemos and Jessica Andrade definitely have the power over Jillian Robertson, and Lucindo's pretty good on the feet too. So Jillian Robertson will be able to mix it up. She will secure Marina Rodriguez. Like I said, she does not have good get-up ability. Her IQ on the mat is questionable at times, too. I feel as though Jillian Robertson will smother her with the pace, with the wrestling, probably lock up a submission mid-second round, honestly. Big favorite on the card, as you can see. But let's get these ladies on the scales. Here's Jillian looking locked in. I watched the video. She looked ripped, I gotta say. And you see it like her biceps, her triceps. She looks really good on the scale. She even got some. She doesn't have a cleavage. She got a chest. Let's get Marina. I mean, she looks okay. She looks like a 38-year-old woman on the scale, I would say, compared to, look at her and then look at Jillian. You could definitely see who's been, locked in the gym a lot more. Definitely picking Jillian Robertson here. Let's get the face off. Marina has that, a bit of a height advantage, but Jillian is going to tie those legs up, secure her, and probably find a neck. And I feel as though she'll win it, convincingly, obviously by submission. But even if she doesn't get the submission, it'll be a clear 29-28, maybe 30-27, even I'll say. Jillian Robertson is still the pick. Next up, we got Azamat Bakoyev taking on Ryan Loder. I'm picking Bakoyev. I like his experience. I like his pressure. I like his pace. He's got, defensive wrestling ability. He can wrestle himself. He is a Dagestan fighter, Dagestan-esque type of fighter. Ryan Loder, I think he's just going to be, a bit outmatched in this fight, honestly. I don't see him, grappling, having a lot of grappling success against Bakoyev. I think Bakoyev will be able to land something consequential and probably put Ryan Loder on his back, and he'll be raining some big shots from top position. Honestly, could look a lot similar to the Zach Reese fight. I know Reese is more jiu-jitsu than wrestling, and whereas Loder is more wrestling than jiu-jitsu. But a lot of times when we get guys who are really good at wrestling matched up, it becomes a striking match, and I still lean Azamat Bakoyev's power in this fight. So let's get a look at them on the scales. Here's Ryan Loder, looking sharp, looking locked in. Every bit of 185. Where is Bukoyev? Right here. He was locked in, man. He was screaming and everything. Definitely, I feel he's going to look like a monster in the cage and probably shut Ryan Loder's lights off. It's not necessarily a face-off, but these guys are ripped. Let's get the face-off, though. There we go. Loder with a big size advantage. You see he's a lot taller. Bukoyev looks to be, a lot thicker. I definitely think he'll be able to. I think he's going to drop Ryan Loder, honestly. Maybe even in the first round. I wonder what the prop is for Bukoyev first round. But the pick is still Bukoyev. I think he gets it done inside the distance. Next up, we got the OGs. Yana Santos taking on Miesha Tate. Still picking Miesha Tate. Feels as though she'll have a lot of wrestling success. I know Yana Santos' takedown defense is okay, but I don't think she'll be able to hold Miesha Tate off for 3 rounds. I don't see Yana Santos getting a knockout or even a submission in this fight. She likes to stand. I don't think she's going to get like a leg kick TKO either. Miesha Tate is very intelligent. I like her, championship pedigree more than Yana Santos, and I feel as though she'll be able to secure her and win it on the scorecards. Pretty clear, 29-28. She'll probably lose the first round just because she's been out, a year and a half. Yana Santos has been out a while too, but she'll probably lose the first round, probably getting like touched on the outside. And then the second and third round is where she'll, push the pace and have some more wrestling success. Here is Cupcake on the scale, looking locked in. Excited to be back in the UFC, or fighting at least. And where is Yana? Let's find her. Towards the top or the next page. Yeah, probably the next page. There she is. Very excited to be here, as you could clearly see. No, she looks like I gotta be honest, she looks like an old fragile woman, woman, excuse me. I could definitely see her getting, put down in this fight. On her back, probably a round and a half control time, I would say, for Miesha Tate. But yeah, well, that's a lot of time. Maybe I would give her like 5. I'll give her like 5 minutes of control time, maybe. I think Miesha Tate wins on scorecards. Wrestling success will be evident in this fight. Damn, we already at the main card? Okay, main card opener, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We got Lil Heathen Jeremy Stevens taking on Mason the Dragon Jones. This should be a very good fight. I think Jeremy Stevens is going to bite down on his mouthpiece. He's been fighting in BKFC, trading a lot of shots. I don't think his chin is going to be able to hold up, though. But I could definitely see this becoming a firefight in the pocket, and I'm definitely edging Mason Jones. I feel as though he's going to mix it up with Jeremy Stevens. He's going to chop at the leg, probably give him some takedown looks. And if they do enter the pocket, I'm favoring the guy who has less wars, who's not 29-21, who's not fighting BKFC. Favoring the guy who's been mixing it up more, recently. Jeremy Stevens, he does have a puncher's chance, but Mason Jones eats a really good shot. If you look at the Ludovic Klein fight, he ate a head kick. The Mike Davis fight, he ate some big shots. He's got a win over David Onama, who's a pretty heavy puncher too. So I'm definitely picking Mason Jones in this one. Let's get a look at them on the scales. Here is Mason. He kind of looks like the guy from the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy who throws the arrow. I forgot his name. Really good actor. He's in a lot of good movies too. Damn. Let me know in the comments what his name is. He's a really good actor. And he's in a Star Wars. I think he's in a Star Wars show too. But yeah. looks okay on the scales. Not gonna say he's like ripped or jacked or anything. Maybe this is a bad photo. Let's see the other one, because I know there's more than one. Well, here's Jeremy. He has not had a lot of success at 155 either, so that's another thing to note. I think he's like 0-4 maybe at 155. We'll look at his record after we get the face off. I just want to see if there's another pick of Gaston. I want to see if there's another pick of Mason Jones. Yeah, there's another angle. Kind of looking like JDM right here. But yeah, he looks okay. He doesn't look, shredded or anything. Definitely picking him to win. Let's get to the face off. I keep going up. I gotta go down. Okay, maybe I'm tweaking. I need to pop a perky or something. Here we go. Yeah, it's right in my face. As you can see, they're pretty, even height wise. Jeremy Stevens looks to be a little bloated or something. Mason Jones, definitely more sculpted, I'll say. But picking Mason Jones, feel as though his chin will definitely hold up in this fight. Jeremy Stevens does crack, I will say that, but he's going to be more intelligent. He's going to chop that leg from under him. And Jeremy Stevens hasn't felt a leg kick in a while. I mean, he's been training for, probably the past 8 to 10 weeks. But compared to feeling a leg kick for 8 to 10 weeks to, he's felt it for a few years, but more, recently he's been doing BKFC and it's just been trading in the pocket. So favoring the guy with the more recent MMA success. And like I said, he's went on this, this tier in Cage Warriors. So let's look at Jeremy Stevens at lightweight. Excuse me. So BKFC, blah, 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 blah. Let's go back to the UFC. Well, this was 45. 45. What did he fight Kelvin at? 45. So he weighed in at 150. Then Gamrot fight was 55. Loss. PFL, 55 loss. He's got a win over Miles Price, 55. So let's count them. 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 1-3. Draw with Jose. I remember watching it actually. I thought Jose won. Chris Avia, what is this? Boxing loss. I mean, I'm not gonna count it, but yeah, as you can see, not a lot of success at 155. BKFC, I'm not counting either. So, and his previous MMA fights at 155, at 145, he's lost. You clearly see it here. Mason Jones, to get it done inside the distance, is the pick. Next up, excuse me, the lock of the week. We got the babyface killer Cameron Smotherman taking on Sari City. Oh man, I need some water. Excuse me. I like Cameron Smotherman in this fight. The only thing that Sari City really has going for him is his length. He doesn't really utilize it well, though. He likes to trade in the pocket with guys who are shorter than him, and he doesn't, use his length to his advantage a lot. He is pretty, slippery on the mat. He can throw out some submissions off of his back. He can end up in top position. He does have some good elbows when he enters the pocket, but I feel as though Cameron is the more intelligent fighter, and I like how he chooses his shots from the outside. I feel as though he's going to land that straight right. Probably in the second round. I feel as though the first round they'll feel each other out, as normally every fight tends to happen. But I feel as though Cameron Smotherman will pick them apart from the first or in the first round. They'll probably tie up, get on the cage momentarily, but they'll get back to space. I feel as though second round Cameron Smotherman is going to open up, let some big shots rip, and I think Cameron Smotherman lands with more dangerous intentions too. So I think he's live for a finish, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the scorecards either. But lock of the week, the babyface killer Cameron Smotherman I do have something to point out too when we get to the face-offs. Here's Series City. Looks pretty good for 135. He's really linky. He's a thin 135er, you got to say. Him and like Montel Jackson are pretty thin for 135. Here's Cameron. Looks pretty ripped. He looks to be in better shape than he did on the Jake Hadley fight. I know that was short notice, but looks to be, a lot better, or in a lot better shape, I would say. And let's get to the face-off. Here we go. So one thing to point, Cameron's neck is actually really long. So, if Series City could lock up maybe a choke or something. I didn't realize his neck was that long. But if you look at the reach, it doesn't look that far off either. Cameron Smotherman's definitely, more muscular. And I feel as though if he lands, it's going to hurt Series City. Series City's got a thin neck too. So, you hit that jaw right, that neck is going to snap. And that's what's going to cause him to knock out or be knocked out. So the pick is Cameron Smotherman. I think he's live for a finish, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the scorecards either. Lock of the week, babyface killer. Next up, this is probably my favorite fight on the card. We got Montel Jackson taking on Daniel Marcos. I'm still going to pick Daniel Marcos. This is a very interesting fight, very intelligent fight that I think is going to go down too. I think this probably goes three rounds. I know Montel Jackson does have the speed advantage, the length advantage. He's taller, and he's probably he might show some wrestling. But I like Daniel Marcos. He's a really tricky guy on the feet too. He's really slick. He's got some power. I feel as though he'll be able to counter the speed of Montel Jackson. He'll probably slip that quick 1-2 that he likes to throw, come to the outside, probably land like an outside leg kick or maybe a hook or a check hook that could maybe wobble Montel Jackson. Who knows? This is a really interesting fight. I don't think it should be I don't think he should be a minus 215 favorite. I feel as though this could be maybe like minus 135, but I really like this fight. This is really interesting for the division too, because I feel as though the winner will get a ranked matchup next. But this is a really, really good fight. Let's get to these guys on the scales. First up. If we could find him, there's Montel. Like I say, well, he's a bit wider than Series City, but he's still pretty thin for 135. But you can see he's locked in too. Let me check the other page. I think they have, straight on shot. Yeah, he's really thin. He's got the biggest hands in the division. It's gonna be a really interesting fight. Here's Daniel Marcos. Definitely looks to be more. Montel Jackson's biceps are definitely larger, but as far as the body goes, I would favor Daniel Marcos. Really, really interesting fight, guys. Really, really good fight. This is probably like the one fight that everybody has their eyes on. Here's the face-off. You can see the height and the reach advantage here. Daniel Marcos has a really good chin, though. I don't know if Montel puts him out. He does have I think he's tied for the record for the most knockdowns in like their 7-fight and then like a 7-fight run or something like that. It's going to be interesting to see if he does it to Daniel Marcos. And it wouldn't be a fraud check either. This is a really, really tough test I feel as though both of them. I know Montel was coming off that knockout over Damon Blackshear, which was a test for him also. But Daniel Marcos is a slick striker, man. This is a really good fight. I'm rocking with Daniel, though. I'm going to lock it in. Daniel Marcos scorecards probably still the second and maybe the first round. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, though. Next up, we got Santiago Ponzinibbio taking on D-Rod. The vets go at it. I'm picking D-Rod. I feel as though this could be a really weird fight, though. Santiago probably lets something, like a big power hook go. Wobbles D-Rod. Almost gets him out of there in like the second round. D-Rod comes back, fires some really good straight shots that has Santiago wobbling all over the cage. This could be a really, really weird fight. But I'm picking D-Rod. I like his boxing a lot cleaner. I feel as though he'll be able to defend a lot of Santiago's takedowns too. They're pretty telegraphed, and I don't think Santiago's the best wrestler either. If you look at who he's faced recently, Kelvin Gastelum, who bullied him into fighting at 185. Ian Gary, who likes to mix it up. He wrestled in that fight, ended up getting a TKO. It wasn't really a knockout. And then Neil Magny, who likes to grapple. Santiago, everyone's like, oh, you got this Carlson Harris knockout. Carlson Harris is trash, bro. I got to be honest. Salikov, he lost to. Salikov's a really good striker, too, as old as he is. And then Kevin Holland put him out with a left hook. Kevin Holland was hitting him with some really good, clean, straight shots, too. So, and he did beat Alex Morono and lost to Michel Pieta. But I'm picking Daniel Rodriguez. Let's get a look at them on the scales. Here's Ponzi, the Argentinian dagger. It looks really good shape. A lot better shape than, Daniel Rodriguez, but it is what it is, man. Where's D-Rod? D-Rod's got like that skinny fat California thing going on. A lot of people are saying he looked a little drained. I don't think so. He kind of always looks like that. The Cholo. Here's the face-off. You can see he's got the height advantage. I feel he's got a reach advantage too, or is it like it's just an inch. But yeah, he's taller. Yeah, I think he's gonna land on Ponzi's chin pretty clean. If Carlson Harris was able to hurt Ponzi, I think D-Rod can too. So D-Rod is the pick. Next up, the co-main event, the biggest test of Bo Nickal's career. RDR taking on Bo Nickal. I think, as you guys know, I pick flipped. I'm picking Bo Nickal. I tried to sell myself on the RDR, the RDR submission. I don't think it's going to happen. I feel as though Bo Nickal, he can dictate wherever this fight takes place, whether that's on the feet, on the mat, if he decides to wrestle, or if he doesn't, like he did with Paul Craig. It's all up to him. I don't see RDR tying him up with those collar trips that he likes to do. It's not going to happen. If you look at the GM3 fight, he tried that with GM3 and flipped himself. So if he tries that and ends up flipping himself, Bo Nickal is going to land some big shots on the mat, possibly putting him out. But I do think Bo Nickal does find the chin. I think he's going to be more comfortable in his hands. And he said it himself, he's more comfortable in his boxing. I think he's going to land and he's going to shut RDR's lights out, getting him in the rankings. Isn't he about RDR ranked? I thought he was ranked. RDR's not ranked? Topology got him 19. Let's see real quick. Yeah, it's 13th. Yeah. Topology tripping. So with a win over Rayner, he'll be 13th? Nah, he should be 15th. And then Kopylov and Abus move up. RDR's out of there. But yeah, win over RDR puts him in the rankings, and he'll be one step closer to his title shot. Let's get a look at them on the scales. Here's Bo. He cut from like 220, 225, something like that. Let me try and get the other angle, if they have it. Nope. Yeah, he cut from like 222 or something. Big cut for him, but he looks pretty good. I almost get him and Thomas Peterson mixed up, but yeah, he looks pretty good on the scale. He's not really like super toned up or anything like that. Let's look at RDR. He looked drained. He looked super drained, I gotta say. He was like really on the scales, really wobbly. Here's a straight on the bow. Yeah, he's got like a wrestler's physique, obviously. Here's RDR. You can see he's drained, man. Look at his face. His eyes are sunken in. He's really cut up, but he's got like an awkward build. Look at the face off. He's got like a really awkward build. I don't know, man. Bo's gonna find that chin. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a left hook. I think it's gonna be a left hook that puts RDR out, and he might be super violent too. So, looking forward to Bo Nickal making his mark into the rankings. And for the main event of the evening, Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. Corey's the pick. I feel as though he's going to be a little too stylish for Davison. He can put the fight wherever he wants, honestly. And I wouldn't be surprised if Corey finds a finish. Not like I don't think it's going to be like a violent knockout, but I could see him like overwhelming Figgy. Like he'll shoot a lot of takedowns, and I could just see him timing like a really good knee, wobbles Figgy, gets him down, and probably like puts a couple shots together, and the ref stops the fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a TKO in this fight, or maybe even a submission. Davison does have some really good grappling defense though, but I think Corey is live to finish it inside the distance. Figgy, he's got that power, but it's not really affecting guys the same way at 135 as he was when he was a flyweight. So let's get a look at them on the scale. Here's Figgy. Looks pretty good. A lot of people were questioning, his shape before. I want to say it was the week before, earlier in the week. Yeah, he did look a little, bloated, but may weight, no issues. Looks really good. Looks shredded. And then here's the Sandman Sandhagen, excuse me. You can see those really long arms. He's not really a physically impressive guy either, but I think he'll be able to put it on Figgy. I think he's gonna control the pace. Figgy likes to start a little slow. He's really patient and calculated. He times his shots really well, but I think Corey won't be there for him to hit him cleanly. I think Corey's gonna, he's going to cut his angles really well. He's going to dictate the pace. He's going to move constantly, and it's going to be hard for Figgy to find him. So I'm picking Corey to win it either inside the distance, or I wouldn't be shocked by a scorecard victory for Corey either. And let's pull up Makai's money making plays one more time again. Just to run through them again, we got Bo Nickel, Mason Jones, Jillian Robertson, money line, plus 110. Very confident picks for me. And we got, D-Rod, Misha Tate, and Gaston Bolanos. Not as much confidence, but still confident in those three as well. Then we got Bo, TKO, Bakoya, TKO, and then Peterson, money line. Feels like both of those gentlemen will be able to put the lights out of their opponents. And then Thomas Peterson, I feel as though he'll win it on the scorecards. And we got the over in the Misha Tate, Thiago Santos' wife, Yana Santos, over 2.5. Mays versus Peterson, over 2.5. And Marcos by decision. That's the ballsy one right there. Plus 688. Lines have definitely moved, so don't quote me on, the odds. And then Mason Jones, KO, and Jillian Robertson by sub. Those are my two favorite methods for both of those fights and fighters. Plus 800. It's pretty good money right there. And then we got Corey and Cameron Smotherman inside the distance, plus 1220 for the big bang to end off Makai's money making plays. So let me know what you guys thought of the weigh-in review. Are you guys ready for UFC Des Moines? I've been saying it wrong this entire time. Nobody corrected me, but it's a very good fight card. These fight nights have been getting, more and more better as they've gone on. We had Ian Gary and Carlos Prates. I'm trying to think of the one before that. I want to say it was a pay-per-view, wasn't it? I can't think. But Corey Sandhagen, then we got, UFC, was it 315, May 10th? And then we got Morales and Gilbert Burns. Morales is one of my favorite welterweights. He's been, coasting under the radar from the general public, but I've been watching that guy since he made his debut. He's really nasty, and I think he's going to finish Gilbert Burns. But we'll get there when we get there. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Makai's weigh-in recap. I will see you guys for the full card recap as soon as the entire fights are over. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.